Let me come to you again, Reverend Okure. You obviously heard your colleague Saliou talking very, very intelligently here, remarkably, in fact, articulate. But let's go to Ethiopia. As I did my research, I ran into the issue of the land rush. I looked at these ordinary farmers, for example, in Gambera region, in Oromio. And I said, wait a minute. There is, of course, this Indian company called Karaturi Agro.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. This can't be for these ordinary folks in Oromio or Gambera.
In fact, the people have been displaced.
Yes.
The people you are talking about are now homeless.
And the minister is claiming, for example, when interviewed by a journalist, that this was actually done voluntarily.
Nope. That's the lie that has been affronting. That's the point of saying that the victims' voices have not been heard. In most of this is what is going on. You know, yes, those people in Ethiopia have been literally quarantined. What they were promised, or I mean, some of them just woke up one day and then they were told, your land belongs to somebody else.
Exactly.
You know?
I guess that we have to bring in some callers from the continent. Yeah. Good evening, Samuel from Uganda. You're most welcome to Straight Talk Africa. Samuel, can you hear me?
Good evening, Ndugu Shaka Ssali. How are you?
I am hugely terrific. How are you today?
I'm very nice, and I welcome you back to studio, and thank you for your professionalism which you showed when you are here in Uganda.
Thank you very much. It was, of course, an honor and a privilege to be asked by, of course, Ugandans to be part of that historical event, which was, of course, moderating the presidential debate.
The pleasure is mine and much obliged. Now, I go to Reverend Okure. When the land policy in Zimbabwe went in favor of the indigenous Zimbabwean farmers, it was mishandled, and the compensation parameters were not in favor of the Zimbabweans. The Great Britain government did not compensate them, and that one became problematic to the President Mugabe. What is your take? If the audience suggests that, wait a minute, the indigenous African farmers need to be trained in using automobile machines and farming methods and urban farming to increase on their production. Thank you, Shaka, and thank you, the audience and the panelists.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with the suggestion. It should have been a smooth transition. The government should have stood behind the people and those who were willing to be farmers, to supply them with the technology, to supply them with the resources, because the food would have been produced for the country. But we see the role of the Britain in this case undermined the effort. So there is a larger narrative that we all have to look at here, that sometimes the efforts of others undermine what is going on locally. And we look back, we have to learn the lessons of history, lessons of colonialism, lessons of people saying, oh, we are coming to help civilize Africa, we are coming to help them, you know, develop their culture.
To save you from yourself, right?
To save you from yourself. And look at where Africa is, okay? And then we have others now coming on. We are coming to help Africa develop food security, and look at what is happening. What is really mind-boggling for me is that some African leaders have not learned the lessons of history. You know, something that is staring us in the face. This has happened before, it's happening again, even though called with another name, and they can't see the link between what happened before and what is happening now.
And you refer to them as leaders? Are those in fact leaders, or
are
they perhaps rulers?
Rulers, even rulers, you know, a good ruler, I don't know what to call them. Kleptocrats. Maybe that would be it.
Very interesting. Let's go to the other side of the continent, and that is Patrick. Patrick from Nigeria. Good evening, Patrick. You're most welcome to Straight Talk Africa.
Good evening, Mr. Shaka.
I am hugely terrific, my brother.
Welcome back.
Profoundly
It's a
honored and
pleasure.
exceedingly humbled for your compliments and support, Patrick.
We thank God, Mr. Shaka. Welcome back.
Thank
it's
you.
a pleasure to have you on this program. Patrick will clap for you now here in Nigeria. I want to find out from our guests. In Africa today, the government will say the land belongs to even the land that belongs to individuals. At the end of the day, there's surplus land, no cultivation, and we talk about food security. The land is there, and people continue suffering. And when we talk about all this loan we get from other, the conditionalities are not very, very comfortable to African countries. Why is it that Africa is still depending on those issues? And today, mechanization of agri in Africa is very, very scanty. Why is this so? Thank you very much. And my question goes to the Reverend.
Yes, good question.
What about Saliou?
He referred to me.
Really?
Well, I leave it to him. I don't know problem.
No, we are not against investment. Let's get it clear. We are not against developing agricultural sector. Let's get that clear. What needs to be done here is that, you consult the people, you engage in a fair process, you involve the people not just as stakeholders, but as shareholders in the process. We find out if I'm coming to help you, I need to ask you, what would you like me to help you with before I even give you my ideas? But in this case, they're systematically coming in, deciding what you need, how you are going to need it, and when you are going to need it. In addition, if you look at what is produced, like in the question of, you mentioned vast amount of land in Ethiopia,
for example.
What is produced is being exported. The people are not benefiting from it.
But surely there must be some elements in Ethiopia who are benefiting hugely here.
Absolutely. A handful of people, not just in Ethiopia, in Liberia, in Zimbabwe,
in all these countries
we are talking about, a handful of people are benefiting from it.
Is it like 10% or something?
It's very few. I mean, if it's 5%, is 5% too many. There are a handful of people. For example, talk of indigenous people collaborating. We just found out one of my colleague, Bahati, from Africa Faith and Justice Network.
From DRC?
Just came back from Ghana. And then found out that in one of the land deals, a Ghanaian was fronting with it. And then grabbing this land, 14,000 acres of land,
yes,
for this company at 38,000 cedis for 20 years. That is at $1.40 an acre for 20 years.
Yes.
So there are people locally who are benefiting from it and then leaving the rest impoverished for generations to come.